Right, today we're doing something, we're doing the usual, we're tinkering. We're going to have a look at something different. Do also need that, Jesus. How's that? The light's already flickering, so turn that down a bit. I've got something new that turned up today that I'm very excited about. This is the PinePower. That light is still flickering, that's driving me mental. So this PinePower device, input 240 or 100 to 240, output 120 watts maximum. It's got a quick charge 3 output, which is 5 volts 3 amps. It'll also do 9 volts 2 amps or 12 volts 1.5 amps. It's got a Type-C power delivery output, which will do up to 65 watts in whatever Type-C power delivery format you need. And then it's got some USB Type-A 3 amp. Also 10 watt wireless charging on top. Pardon my dirty hands, I've already peeled the sticky bit off the front. But you can see there you've got your quick charge 5 volt, 5 volt, 5 volt power delivery. So this was super cheap. Let me just grab the laptop and see how much it was. Yep, not letting you see that password. So PinePower. Here we go, 120 watt delivery system, US $37.99. So that was great. I got 260 bucks worth of stuff and got pretty cheap shipping on it. So about 300 bucks, I got a whole pile of stuff delivered, and this was one of them. So far, it's tested pretty good, but we're going to have a bit of a better look at it. I ordered the Australian version, so of course you get the Australian cable with it, which is pretty stock standard, but it is nice of them because not many places will give you a cable, or they'll give you one for a different country. So, standard switch on the back. There is no fuse that I can see. It takes a standard Mickey Mouse plug. I'm not sure what's in it, but we may open it up. And when you turn it on, you get your little LCD output there. So, first things first, let's see how accurate this is. Oh, I've got this thing trying to draw too many amps. So we'll set this to start it. It's meant to be a course mode I can change. No, that's off, on. I don't know. Alright, that says 1.4 amps at 5.15. 5.1 at 1.4 amps. Alright, let's go a fair bit lower. Alright, 0.65 amps, that's 5.19. I'm still giving output. Oh, the display, I don't know what the display was doing then. Pine guys, if you could let me know why the display went so dark, that would be awesome. Oh, is it the wiring in this? I honestly don't know. Let's turn it off and on again in case drawing too much at the start really upset it. There we go. So it is showing us 5.2 at 0.7. Let's crank this up now. 0.8. Yep. Let's go all the way up to 2 amps. That's much easier to see, isn't it? Two amps. Yep, 5.1. So that's not showing anything that's, because that will be variable. These are always going to be 5 volts. That obviously has a separate power supply, because it's showing, or a separate switch mode power supply internally, or a separate circuit of some sort, because that's still showing 5.2 volts, whereas these are dropping. So let's crank this up to 2.5. Yep, that's still reflecting true. 2.95. Yep. 3. The display's just cutting out at 3 a bit. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I might email the devs this and... Is it? I got no idea. It's on and off though, so... As soon as we pull this out, maybe the display is powered by the 5 volt rail, and when it's dropping below 5.2 or something, you just can't handle it. Or there's a loose wire inside. I reckon it's going to be a loose wire. It did internationally ship 3 times because FedEx in China kept sending it back for whatever reason. So let's try this now. Oh, 4.3 amp surge then. But it's holding its voltage. It says 5.4. That says 5.27, but it's chucking 3 amps. So, what does this say about I can't even remember what buttons here. 15 watts, amp hours. Alright, we don't care about any of that. I can't even remember how to use this thing. Alright, let's just keep drawing some amps, see what it does. What is the quick charge 3 even meant to put out? Quick charge 3 will do 5 volts, 3 amps. Well, so far it's doing 5 volts, 4 amps, and holding its own. So we can get 15 watts on this. Oh, nope. Alright, we saw it really start to dial back there. Let's, yeah, 4.75 volts. So this one is over calibrated a bit on the voltage readings. It is putting out 4.1 amps. So it's giving the amps that it says, it's giving more than it says it should. That's pretty good. I'll give it some credit. Let's grab this USB-C cable. These USB-C cables for like $4, and they're silicon. They feel really good. 1.5 meter silicon USB-C. You stick that on there. Oh, you can kind of still see it. If that display wants to stop carking it. Maybe it just turns off when it's not drawing. No, there's the display. Hopefully you can see that. It's 4K, I hope so. Fuck knows what that thing's doing. We'll get some USB-C into this. So, it's showing 4 volts at 3.2 amps, 5 volts. I don't even know how this thing really works, but turn it on, 4 point LUP. I do not know what's going on here. Maybe it doesn't like the power delivery protocol. It tries for a second. Alright, OCP, whatever that means, man. I need the manual for this thing. Let's test it a different way. Instead of this thing, which I clearly, it's great. I quite like this, but I clearly don't know how to use it. So we'll put it to the side. We'll grab the laptop back and we'll run a HTML5 benchmark. There is a reason I'm testing this first, and you'll see why. So if we go grab base mark, that's going to hammer all the resources. The battery's also a little bit depleted at 91%. By the way, I hate Lenovo's, so don't read into it at all. It's a Bitzer that doesn't work well because it had severe liquid damage, but it's enough for this sort of quick crap. Now, this is gone, and that should be maxing out some of the GPU and CPU. Close enough. I'm on crappy Starlink out here as well. So let's plug this in and see what it draws. 20 volts. Figure it out, 1.6 amps. 1.5 amps. Alright, so this laptop's drawing 35 watts. That's fair enough. What power settings have I got it set to? Choose a power plan. Cool. I don't have a high power plan. That's fine. But, alright, there's hitting 40. There's our 60. And these are meant to be power delivery cables, so these are meant to be capable of it. We did just see it, 60 amps there. Make sure our brightness is turned all the way up. Looks like it's pretty happily doing that, at 60 watts. Should I say 60 amps? Damn, I should record these when I've got more energy. Alright, so that's the first one here. I'm pretty happy with this. We'll unplug that, stick the laptop to the side, keep that cable to the side, and let's have a quick look at what's inside it. There's obviously a loose cable that I want to fix. Now, Pine64 are kind of a community-driven organisation from what I understand. They don't... Oh, that's just stuck straight on. Fuck. Stick that back on. Everything is really cost-effective because I don't believe there's really much markup on the products. It's all designed by the community and manufactured for people like us that want to tinker with this stuff. So, from what I can tell, looks like it might be a draw style slide out towards the front sort of situation. Yep, right, so there we go. So that front comes straight off. Definitely broke that clip a little bit, but not too badly. Now does that, yeah, it pushes out from there. That switch is probably going to come out the other way, but hopefully it's got a nice long cable on it, so we have a bit of room. Let's. That's in there tighter. I'm probably going to skip over this bit of footage whilst I figure out how to extract the device. Oh, okay. That's exactly what I was doing then. I don't even think I considered that. I probably hit it 100 times as slow. Can you see there's a little coil under there? That's going to be a display button. How many times I hit that? I have no idea, but I'm clearly slightly special in the brain. So don't worry about the devs. This is how it goes. So there's also a marking in there. HHW686 USB V 2.2. So some sort of revision. Now, back to the disassembly, and I'll cut the video here for a moment. Holds a bit of power. Alright, so I just took a little bit of shimmying around some parts in there. There is a bit of length on that, but not much though. Hopefully. That's that one. What else am I catching on? Alright, back to it. So, that was a bit of a pain. It catches on the side with these little modules, which means it's kind of hard to get it back out. In the end, I just use brute force. And then there was one spade connector, but one solder point for the little capacitor there. NTC 3D11, whatever that one is, if that wants to focus. There you go. Sorry, this video is also going to be 4K, but not 60 FPS, because... Okay, that's just got the wireless module left in there. But yeah, because I'm using open camera this time, not the built-in camera, so it's a much better app. It supports horizontal autofocus, all those things, but the Camera 2 API doesn't allow anything but the native app for whatever reason. With Oppo and even Samsung, it seems to do 60 FPS, you piece of shit. So, having a look here, we've got the display touch, which goes back to there. We've got display driver, some sort of other driver which integrates with the display driver. I'm really not sure what that does. Then we've got our USB. So it does look like there is one circuit for these 3 USB ports, and this one has a separate circuit, or is at least off a separate. Now that's interesting, isn't it? So I'm going to let you suss it out here. So you can have a look at the tracks there. Not all too badly designed. It's there's some good spacing on there. There's no actual PCB cuts, but I'd say fairly adequately spaced. If you have a look at the back there, we have 400 volt, 120 microfarad capacitors. There is going to be, okay, so that they're going to be a class X or a class Y capacitor. Smoothing coil. I think that's a fuse there as well, if I'm correct. Then yeah, we've got 2 different circuits here. It's grounded in the middle. So there is a ground line which connects back to a few parts of it. Interesting. But yeah, there are 2 separate switch mode power supplies going on in here as best I can tell. I'm not awesome at these sort of electrical components or these detailed electronics, so someone like Big Clive might have a better idea, but all in all the construction looks pretty good. There's a bit of dirt on here from manufacturing. There's a bit of solder resin that would have used. No dry joints. That solder quality on the back of that transformer is a bit off. Optical coupling. Sorry, that's the solder I was looking at. I was just looking too closely to me. I'm not a big fan of that quality of solder. Back of this transformer. Opto coupled there between the high voltage and the low voltage. That's a decent gap. I really thought they would have cut through here. But all in all, no complaints. So that's the PinePower. It was 20 something odd bucks. You saw it before, 28 bucks. Works pretty well. Disassembly is mostly easy. Just have to solder this back on. And it stands up to its specs. I'm not sure what was going on with the readings on that Quick Charge 3 port too well, but I'll just be happy to charge my phone with that. These all read exactly as I said they would, and we know that the USB-C power delivery port does at least 60 watts, which is fine for most cases. It might do 65. I doubt that laptop even draws 65, and it might do more than that. It looks like it's all over-spec'd slightly, as we saw by this port even managing to do 4+ amps. So this will lead into the next video. I'm going to post them back to back because I've got these two devices I'm going to show you both from PineStore, and I need this one for the next one. So this is a new channel, as you can see. Like and subscribe if you could, if you want to see more of this sort of stuff. But until then, enjoy, stay safe, make sure you unplug this sort of shit before you go tinkering around. Cheers.